Everybody, welcome to our council meeting of September 8th. I'll call the meeting to order at 7 o'clock. We have a meeting agenda. Is there any errors? Anything people want to add? If not, could I get a motion, please? Councillor Lebrion, all in favor? Carried. The minutes are there for your perusal. Is there anything missing? Deputy Mayor, did you move? I wasn't sure. 23825, both those readings?
I believe the first one was just to maintain the franchise rate.
Okay.
And then next one was to move second reading because first reading already been.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Is this person in attendance?
Who? Yeah,
At the
she
last
was online.
But that should be external then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Community planner.
Or she was here in person, right? Yeah, okay.
All right, could I have someone move them, please? Councillor Lambert, all in favor? Carried. My report, once again, on September 8th, which was today, I had a CRAW meeting. And for September 8th, which is this Wednesday, 10th, we will be having a meeting with Minister Sigurdsson, who is the Minister of Ag and Irrigation. We also had Peace River Regional District wanting to join our community braille advocacy. Peace Regional is the largest regional district in BC, and it serves seven communities and 4 electoral areas that represent 40 rural communities as well as Dawson Creek, Fort St. John. So they've reached out wanting to join our advocacy, and we will be meeting with them next week to discuss whether we're going to. But previously, we were only accepting communities in Alberta, but then we thought, well, we're landlocked Alberta, we need the ports and everything, so we opened it up to Hay River, and now hopefully we'll open it up to BC as well. And that's my report. Any questions? I know it's short and sweet. Could I have someone move it, please?
I'll move the mayor's report.
Thank you. Councillor Welke, all in favor? Carried. Council committee reports, Deputy Mayor.
I have nothing to report.
Thank you. Councillor Anderson.
August 28th, I believe it was, I had a high-level library board meeting. And then on September 3rd, I had a Golden Range Society meeting. The Golden Range on October 25th is having a fall supper, and the tickets are available. You can pick them up at the senior center. And they're also having a silent auction at the same time. And the silent auction will start on the 22nd of September. And anybody's welcome to come into the center and bid on the objects that are in there for sale. That's all I have to report on.
And what day was the supper?
August 25th, or October 25th, sorry.
Okay, thank you.
And the silent auction is October 22nd.
Okay. And does it run a couple days?
It will run right till the fall supper.
Okay. Thank you. Councillor Lambert?
On September 3rd, we attended and hosted another Business After 5 initiative with the Chamber. Wasn't heavily attended, I'm assuming just because of everyone getting back to school and with the busy week, but we did make some announcements. We're getting ready for Midnight Madness again this year. We're assuming it's going to be on November 28th, the same day as Black Friday nationally or internationally. So we're going to get some more meetings set up for that with business vendors that are going to take part in that, as well as another announcement that we are going to bring back the President's Ball. For those who are unaware of what that is, it's just the celebration of businesses and citizens in the town of High Level and area. So we're excited to bring that back this February. So some nominations and more information of that will be going out probably within the next couple months. Yeah, that is all I have to report.
Thank you. Any questions? No? Councillor Lebrion.
I had a high-level library board meeting on the 28th, and that's all I have to report for meetings. I just wanted to remind everybody about the Get to Know You night on Wednesday. I'll be there representing the Banners of Remembrance Committee. I just wanted to remind everyone, if you're looking to pick up your Remembrance Day items like poppy pins and other items, come see us there at the Get to Know You night, and we'll have things for sale for you there. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Welke.
On September 4th, I had IT session with the new RAC, Regional Advisory Council initiatives with the government for these new health advisory committees. They're finally getting rolling. On September 6th, I also did a 2-hour Zoom orientation for the same committee, and all of our all aspects of our groups are set up now. The first actual meeting is planned for the 25th, I believe, of September, and it's going to be in person for our council in High Level. And I think I reached out to CEO Doss. Did you see my email regarding touching base with these RAC committees of potential meeting space room here? Okay. So yeah, finally that's getting started. Also, just that's all I have for meetings. But as a reminder, on the 25th as well is the FASD Society's grand opening of the Sunshine Room, which is the renovated Bare Necessities building. It's all ready to go, and that'll be the grand opening from 6:30 till 7:30 p.m. on the 25th of September on site there. So everyone's welcome.
And the walk is tomorrow,
Yes, I
starting at the arena at 9 o'clock.
think I have that somewhere in here. Yeah, I mentioned that last meeting.
But just a reminder for any of the public that wants to walk with the FASD Society. You said the 25th of September, HAC was having a public meeting?
No, it's not a public meeting. It's our first meeting for the councils to get started on our work. So the kind of the mandate of these RACs is it's a little bit different than the old HAC committees, which were advisory councils only. This one is going to have a little bit more like a two-way communication with the public with regards to health. So not just advising the health on what the healthcare system is doing, but also, taking like feedback from the public and, and getting, more of a proper two-way communication going, for the needs of the public and, and what the health system is, is offering. And policy and everything will still be, processed and guided by the Ministry of Health. This is not Alberta Health Services anymore. This is directly under the Ministry of Health. Policy will all still be generated by them, but we'll have a fairly strong input and conduit for the public for getting people's voices heard for what we want, how we want to shape our healthcare system moving forward.
Thank you. Any questions for Councillor Welke? Okay, could I have someone accept council reports, please? Councillor Lambert, all in favor? Carried. Before we go into the administrative reports, I just want to let the senior staff know that reports that are put into our packages are considered read by council prior to coming to the meeting. So if we could refrain from reading reports verbatim and just provide an overall, council will ask questions. So just highlight the major points and we will pose any questions that we need to answered. I thank you for that. All right, so we will begin with the CAO's report.
Good evening, Your Worship and Council. So I'll try to summarize here my report. I continue to explore available grant funding opportunities to support the town in addressing critical infrastructure deficiencies. I continue to work collaborative with staff to refine and implement a budget process that reflects best practices. Continue to work closely with the municipal planning services to manage daily operations and review and approvals of development applications. Also providing interim oversight to the Emergency Services Department. I continue to work closely with the Provincial Grants Division and internal staff to reconcile the town's 2024 capital expenditures. I continue to work closely with the Assistant Deputy Minister Sandberg to recover some of the outstanding wildfire evacuation efforts. I also continue to meet with engineers and consultants to receive updates and progress reports on various ongoing projects. Continue to work with staff and consultants to address the Alberta Environment outstanding non-compliance items. I'm assisting the substitute returning officer in preparing for the upcoming municipal election. And also human resources matters continue to require a significant invest of my time. And I proceed with the initiation and continuation of recruitment activities for the director's positions and continue to work closely with staff to develop clear, consistent public messaging, and I have overseen and managed a wide range of responsibilities over the past 2 weeks, with these tasks representing just a portion of the key initiatives undertaking. And I welcome any questions.
I have a few. So I'm just wondering about the infrastructure deficiencies, like we talked about fixing the arena. And has that been done?
Through your worship, are you talking about the foundation?
Yes.
Yes, we are just in a process of putting some tenders out for the repairs. Yes, that's part of.
But we're running out of time for this season.
Through your worship, yes, due to competing priorities and some emergent issues, that's where we are, but we're doing the best we can to proceed with this.
Okay, so moving on to development, like what is the development department doing if you're overseeing and reviewing applications and permits and things like that?
I work with the municipal planning services and with staff. So Jane is online and she will present a couple of applications. So yes, we're moving forward with to keep the department going with minimum impact to the residents and developers.
Okay, moving on to this funding, the 671,000, where is that at? Like this has been ongoing for quite a substantial time.
Through your worship, yes, we're trying to recover this amount, and the Municipal Affairs Office has been in contact with ISC and is trying to help us recover the funds.
Okay. And finally, just a reminder that, and you probably know this, I don't know, you're going to have to also organize right after the election a complete orientation for new council.
Through your worship, that is underway. I am working on this as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Just wanted to make sure it's getting done. You had a question? Councillor Wilkie?
Yes, Madam Mayor. Just a question on first point, continuing to explore available grant funding opportunities. Are there any new and exciting grant funding opportunities?
Through your worship, besides the FCM grant, we're looking in conjunction with consultants, and then I will report back to you once we have more information.
Okay, and also just to clarify, is our substitute returning clerk, is that Director Clark? Okay,
Yes, that's correct.
okay. Lastly, and I'm not sure if Councillor Lambert would maybe have this question or not, but just with your concerns on communication with some town events and things not maybe being clear on some of our social media sites and that sort of thing, is there any updates on the messaging around communicating the town events? And I think we had concerns or had talked about recognizing sponsors and things like that. Is there any updates on how we're moving forward with that communication strategy?
Through your worship, we haven't received any requests at the moment, but council passed a resolution and we will follow council's direction on this.
Any requests for what?
For a sponsorship advertisement on our page.
Oh, I don't so much mean sponsorship on our page itself, but when we have sponsors for events that may be town events as well, just ensuring that they're recognized, you know, in the communications with the town projects that have sponsors. Okay.
I just want to circle back to priorities, and you've, like, the infrastructure here. Like, to me, the Arena Foundation would be kind of a priority, seeing as we haven't done any work towards the multiplex arena, and this Arena Foundation is rapidly declining, and we need this arena for our children for the foreseeable future. I would definitely want to see that infrastructure looked after. What?
I just said and old timers.
For our children and our seniors. So, yeah, like I hope we can look at this before the snow flies.
Through your worship, this is also a priority for administration.
Okay. Thank you. Any other question, Deputy Mayor?
So we have ads out for the 3 vacant director positions,
Through your worship, yes.
and when do those close?
We are working with a recruiting company right now, and then we're trying to fill the positions as soon as possible. The ads that are out there are open, and they have been posted for a while.
And then do we have any update from the auditor on the 24 audit?
Through your worship, not at this time. I haven't been able to work this week and the past week with the reconciliation and with staff on this, but it is my goal to get back to it this week.
Because that's probably the biggest financial priority, right?
Through your worship, we have a lot of competing priorities right now. That is one of the biggest ones, yes.
Just you've said in the past that we can't move forward with any infrastructure projects without that being done and knowing where the town is.
Through your worship, it would be helpful to have that information to move forward, to know where we are financially, yes.
What projects are moving forward despite not having that information?
Projects, through your worship, what projects is the deputy mayor inquiring about?
Several capital projects.
Yes.
And so the arena would be one, and we've got a couple others potentially on the go. So
Yeah.
I just want to make sure the audit isn't holding up any of that work.
Through your worship, no. It was just due to lack of capacity, staff being away, that created some of the delays. And then now I've sourced some additional help to make sure these projects will move forward.
Any other questions?
Yeah, just to touch on what Councillor Welke already mentioned about communications and the social media. I'm not sure maybe if we need to go back into the policy on what needs to follow, I guess, for a clear direction on the resolution, but I haven't noticed a huge improvement in it, especially when it comes to information on the events. So, Councilor LeBron mentioned the Get to Know You Night coming up this weekend. So far, I've only seen one post about it, so I'm not sure how many people you've actually had sign up for it, but I know if I wasn't actually looking for it, it's very hard to find. And unless you are, I think there was one actual post about it, but again, there was many comments on this post that seemed to be a bit confusing for most people that were trying to sign up. And with dates, there was some edits ongoing, but again, I think maybe if we just follow back to what the mayor initially intended in the resolution, we might get a little further along there.
Through your worship, thank you for your feedback.
Any other questions? Okay, can I have someone move the CAO's report? I'll move the CAO's report. Thank you, Councillor Anderson. All in favor? Carried. So moving on to the vitalization grant.
Through your worship, I will turn it over to Jane. She's online.
Okay. Good evening, Jane.
Good evening, Council. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
So we do have two requests for decision related to two separate grant applications that were received for the Vitalization Grant Program. I'll start with the first one, which is for a new daycare facility that's opening within an existing building within the downtown area. So when we're reviewing the applications, we check first to see whether or not they're within the area that the grant applies. This one is. And then we look at the total proposed project expenses in order to assess whether or not the amount that they've requested in the application is consistent with the requirements within the policy. And then we review the applications in order to determine whether or not what's being proposed in terms of the beautification or vitalization improvements is consistent with the grant policy itself and the town's design guidelines. And so in the RFD, you'll see an assessment or an evaluation of those things. One of the things I wanted to point out for council is there is an error in our report. I apologize to the CAO for that as well as council. The recommendation in the first report should be consistent with the recommendation in the second in terms of the wording. So some of the improvements that are being proposed in both of the applications relate to landscaping improvements. And in discussing some of these improvements with administration, we decided that it's kind of difficult to determine whether or not those improvements will be lasting, which is one of the requirements of the grant, if the money is handed out immediately. So one of the things that we wanted to propose for council's consideration is that rather than a lump sum, if the grant applications are approved, that the grants be allocated to the applicants in a sort of different way. And the way that it's proposed in the second one, which I'd like to suggest also be something that council consider for the first one, is that if the grant application is approved, that it be provided in the form of a tax incentive proportionally divided over 3 years from the date of completion of the improvements. And that would give the town the ability to assess whether or not the improvements were done in such a manner that they will be lasting, specifically the landscaping improvements, to make sure that the money that has been allocated by the town has been spent in a responsible way, and that those improvements will be lasting for your community. So just wanted to point out that I think it was an error in the wording of our recommendation. They should have been consistent with the two RFDs. So the first one, what's being proposed, there is you've got the RFD. I won't go through all the details, but if you have any questions about what they have proposed to do to the facade, please let me know. You can see the existing state of the building, and then you can see that they're proposing to replace all of the siding, to put in new windows, to put on an awning, and then there's a lot of additional landscaping improvements. Some of them are poles that will hold planters, and then there's some additional planters that will be located on the cement in front of the building, and a very lovely sign. So I will maybe turn that over to council if you have any questions about that or any of the things that are included to come up with the amount. Happy to answer those questions.
So the progress of this much needed facility in High Level has been great, and the building looks fantastic. I'm not sure that, this was ever meant to be planters or plants or landscaping. It was meant to be the facade of buildings and things like that. Not that that matters because the grant is for 20,000. I'm not certain in what you mean by tax incentive over 3 years. Because we put an allocated fund into every year, $100,000, and we distribute from that. So what do you mean by tax incentive?
So what we had discussed, your worship, is instead of a payout, so
Right.
cash payout, once the work is completed, because that's one of the requirements as well, is that the work has to be completed and then an inspection has to be done. And then the developer needs to provide copies of the receipts so that we can verify that what was in the quote and what was awarded is consistent with the actual cost.
Correct.
Instead of it being then a cash payout after that, it would be tax relief essentially for 3 years.
To the amount of $20,000.
Yes.
So, okay. Anybody else have a question? Deputy Mayor?
I do like the idea of doing the tax abatement over the 3 years. Gives them an incentive to keep certainly the landscaping, if we're including that in the current. My only concern would be, I know the town has a number of planters that we have out, but they're well maintained, well secured. I'm concerned that looking at the drawing or the picture here, that they're suitable for the purpose intended in terms of the amount of weight, how they're secured. It looks like there's a couple of S hooks at the top here that someone could just lift off and dump on the ground or could blow off in a wind. So I just want to make sure that it's a commercially suited structure and that, you know, each one of those probably weighs 50 or 60 pounds, especially when it's been freshly watered. So want to make sure that they're not going to fall on someone's head.
Anybody else? Councillor Welke?
I don't mind spreading out the benefit over the years, but I feel that that would be quite an administrative burden over 3 years to continually assess past projects. If the landscaping portion wasn't really included, or I guess maybe I would need clarification on that. Is landscaping even included in this grant? It is, okay. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of spreading it out over time. Businesses put up a lot, to do this work, and it would be nice for them to, receive the funds at the time of spending them. Businesses can change hands over time. To me, it's a bit of an administrative burden. And I wouldn't really be a fan of that. I think, if anything, we could follow up on projects just as needed, if they seem to be falling behind in terms of their landscaping. If that's what we're talking about, really, is just, maintaining landscaping. I think there's other ways or other methods we have to ensure that people keep up, the cleanliness and and how their properties look. We have other bylaws for that too, so.
Councillor Lambert?
I agree with Councillor Welke. I think it should be a one-time reimbursement. Trying to spread it over that, like you said, if you change owners, then it's not just the person who actually upfront or funded the money to do this, but then it's kind of they're getting the benefit of that from the future, which I don't agree with from a business standpoint. I guess the other thing is, if this was the case, can we even actually change the policy like that? Because I'm assuming that the applicant is already applying for this grant, assuming that they are going to get the one-time reimbursement, not over 3 years or as a tax deduction.
If I may, through the mayor,
Yes.
it doesn't state specifically how the the grant will be awarded. So there isn't, it is essentially up to council.
Okay. I vote one-time reimbursement.
Councillor LeBrun.
With talking about this first project that we have here, just with the amount of work that they've done in the beautification that that particular building has brought to the downtown core so far, I'm more in favor, like Councillor Welke and Lambert said, for this one to be like the one-time payment, as there's not a lot of landscaping involved with this one, and they've made a real impact. When it comes to the next one, I feel a little bit differently because that one is a majority landscaping, right? Majority of their cost is going to be the landscaping. So if they're putting that in this fall, it's not going to survive the winter. So, you know, we don't want them sticking it in, getting their money, and then it all be dead next summer. And then we're right back to the same place we were with that corner. So just my thoughts.
Up front.
For the first
Yes,
project.
yep. They're two separate projects.
Yeah, and I guess just, you know, to echo the deputy mayor as well, have we ensured that any of these sort of auxiliary plant stands would conform with commercial standards? And would that be on town property anyways?
It would be.
Yeah. Yeah, that part of this project may have to be looked at specifically, but I agree, they've done a fantastic job so far. I think they're deserving of this grant, and I would be willing to make, you know, the motion for approving it as a one-time payout.
All in favor? Carried. So moving on to the second grant application.
Thank you, Your Worship. So the second application, same review process. We looked at the location of where the grant or the development is located, and then we looked at it in relation to what changes they're proposing to the property, and whether or not those changes are consistent with the grant itself and with your design guidelines, and then did an evaluation of that. So this one is for a slightly lesser amount. The improvements do include refreshing the awning and the area around the pumps themselves. There's a garbage enclosure that's proposed to be improved as well. It's in pretty significant disrepair at the moment. We did have some communication back and forth with the applicants about what would be considered regular maintenance versus what would be considered, what is the other wording? Enhancement of the building. So that was one of the things that it is a little bit challenging to judge with these applications is, you know, is it regular maintenance, and in which case it should not be included as part of the grant, or is it something that's being done to help beautify the property itself and the building? And so there were some things that were originally proposed, and you'll see in the evaluation that were removed based on our evaluation of that and that specific component of the criteria. The new sign, the new awning, the improvements to the pumps. They have proposed a very lovely mural. And then they do have an additional wooden sign too, which are things that are not necessary, you know, in order for the operation of the business, but will provide some visual enhancement to the site. And so those things we thought were quite appropriate to include within the grant application. And then they as well did include some landscaping and some improvements to the curb around those landscaped areas. So those are the things that the grant application would cover. Does council have any questions?
So that's the curbing around the landscaping. I'm assuming that's going to be the majority cost.
Where is the?
Yeah.
The signs are are one of the higher costs, I think, as well, too. But you're right, like the landscaping is a big cost. And then the claying asphalt was one too. We did remove one of the other components that related to what we considered to be just regular maintenance. And they did work with us to separate out the aspects of the different aspects of their grant application and the quotes that were provided so that we could do a better and more comprehensive review of what was being proposed. So pages 39 and 40 of your package, I believe, are the ones that provide that breakdown.
Deputy Mayor?
So the awning on the building, is it going to be replaced or just repainted? Because it was repainted last time.
I believe repainted. The quote includes new trim on the existing building and paint.
So to me, that would be more maintenance than anything, but subject to what everybody else thinks.
Yeah, it is maintenance, but I don't know. Yes, Councillor Lambert.
I'm assuming this is just for reference, but in one of the photos, I believe on page 45 in the package, it's a photo of the landscape and the design. I'm assuming this is an AI photo because it has removed the sidewalk. So I just want to confirm that they're not removing the sidewalk and that this is just for reference.
That is our understanding, yeah, through the mayor.
So it would be square, not oval?
Well,
No, there's supposed to be a sidewalk there.
I
And
know,
it just shows
I know.
landscaping.
But are they, like, this is the picture.
oh, that's different. So what curbing did we say was gonna be fixed?
Well, I assume this curbing.
Oh, okay. But not the existing curbing, that's in very, very poor shape as well.
I don't know, they've circled it, so it looks like one piece is gonna be,
Just that corner and then,
yeah.
but not this. And then the main landscaping on the corner where the big sign is doesn't involve any new concrete work as the image shows, because they're not actually replacing the sidewalk. They would just be doing the landscaping within here. This wouldn't be new.
No,
No, okay.
well, I don't know.
I don't think it could be, because
No.
that would be the town's sidewalk, and then it doesn't appear to be in drastic need of repair. So it'd just be the landscaping, I would imagine, inside. I mean, all in all, the project looks nice, and it's a feature corner, and it's a good looking project. And that awning, absolutely, I probably would vote for fixing that alone.
Anybody else? Councillor Lambert?
I think I will go ahead and move with approving it as a one lump sum. But again, would confirm that this is paid after the work is complete, after any type of inspection to confirm the work was done properly and as it was laid out in the application. Correct?
That's correct, and they would also have to provide the receipts for the work that was undertaken so that we could make sure that the amounts are correct.
Okay, perfect. I will make a motion to approve this
As a lump sum or,
as a lump sum. I think we have to.
okay,
Yeah.
all in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Just another note, if I may.
Yep,
Just back to the vitalization grant policy itself. I did, just considering the conversation we had last week, last meeting around the housing initiative or the plan, what's the exact word for it, but the housing development plan we got. So just again, back to that conversation we had regarding the applications and procuring local. That's one thing I noticed with these two applications is a lot of this work, or both of the work, is from out of town, and supplies, I believe, is also from out of high level. So I think we should take a look at this policy. It's not nothing we can do to change these applications themselves, but for going forward, I think we should look into this and at least have an attempt to procure locally. If it's not contractors, at least supplies, because this is taxpayer money from the local businesses in town that could be benefiting from this as well if they were to be purchased from or
I
hired.
agree with you. I was gonna ask, where's Valerius Construction?
I'll bring that forward next council meeting.
All right,
If I may,
Yep.
through the mayor, after our last meeting, it was something that we did reach out to the applicants to discuss, because I thought you might ask. And one of the applicants did indicate that they were more than happy to reach out to contractors in high level and had requested a list of contractors so that they could do that. And so we were working with administration. So for the next time, we have a list that we can make available along with the applications to assist them through that process. And the other applicant didn't respond to our emails regarding that particular item.
Okay.
But we're working with administration to help address that concern.
okay. Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Thank
You
you,
as
Jane.
well.
So were you gonna address 8.3? The draft core budget presentation? CAO?
Yes, through your worship. We encountered technical challenges with the integration of our software systems, and one department requires further review following the recent departure of its director. For that reason, we asked to postpone this item to the committee of the whole meeting next week.
Okay.
Madam Mayor,
Could I have a, oh, sorry, yep.
could we receive copies of the part of the budget that is ready to go so that we have a chance to review it in advance?
Through your worship, we just want to make sure we provide you with accurate information, and as soon as we have the numbers nailed down, we'll provide this ahead of the meeting, yes.
Okay, but if it's department by department and there's only concern with one department, we should be able to see the rest.
We're working on it, and then we'll provide the numbers as soon as we can. Thank you.
We do need to see those numbers before, we need to. I know you're working hard on it, but council needs to look at them, before the meeting.
Through your worship, yeah, that's the goal, to provide all the information prior to the meeting.
Okay. So can I have a motion to table that to committee of whole? Deputy Mayor, all in favor? Carried. Correspondence for action, the Bushy River Mud Bog. This is a sponsorship letter. Council?
Are they looking for sponsorship or donations, or the letter seemed non-specific, and I'm not sure how much we have left in our council budget, but, if they're looking for door prizes, we could do youth swim passes and things like that.
Yeah, they asked or requested any amount of donation funds to assist in covering the cost, but we don't normally just give money. We give swim passes. So what's your flavor of swim pass?
Just
Council.
if I may, I believe we just did or sponsored a similar event
Yeah.
with swim passes. Does administration remember what we had allocated?
It was a family, wasn't it, for 6 months?
Yes, I believe that is what you guys got.
do we have the funds available to sponsor that in the council initiative?
Through your worship, I'll turn that over to the Director of Finance to answer that question.
Yes, we do.
We do?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
is
make,
that your motion?
yeah, I'll make the motion to donate a family swim pass to the Bushy River Mud Bog 2025.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Carried. Correspondence for information was the franchise fee and revenue. Can I have a motion? Ooh, can I have a motion to accept that for information, please? Counselor Librion, all in favor? Carried. Does the gallery have any questions? No? Okay,
Do we
see,
need to move everything for information?
we already did.
Oh, I thought we just did the first one. That was all? Sorry, the motion was for all?
Yeah.
Information for information? Okay, sorry.
All right, so we will recess into in camera. Could I have a motion to move in camera, please? Thank you, Councillor Lambert. All in favor? Carried. Thank you for joining us this evening. And come out to Get to Know You Night on Wednesday night at 6.